Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be demonstrating how you can create this bag using the Alpine Stitch here, and then we're going to top it off with some single crochets. I'll leave links in the description box below on where you can find the t-shirt yarn to make this product, as well as the accessories for the handles. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for updates. So we're going to go ahead and start with our yarn as well as a 5.5mm crochet hook. So taking the tail of our yarn, we're going to go ahead and start with a slip knot. And then we're just going to go ahead and complete 18 chain stitches. Now we're going to skip the first two stitches, and in the third stitch we're going to complete a double crochet. To do a double crochet, wrap the yarn over a hook, then insert it into that third stitch. Now pull up a loop, and we're going to have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over or hook and pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over or hook and pull it through the last 2. And this is a double crochet. And we're going to go ahead and complete 1 more double crochet inside that stitch. So now we're going to go ahead and complete 1 double crochet in each stitch except the last chain stitch. So this is the next stitch, and we're going to do 1 double crochet inside that stitch. So we have the 3 loops on our hook, yarn through the first 2, yarn through the last 2. And we're just going to go ahead and do that until we're at the final chain stitch. And in the last stitch, we're going to go ahead and complete 5 double crochets. This is the 4th. We're just going to go ahead and do 1 more. After completing the 5 double crochets in the last stitch, we're going to go ahead and place our tail forward so that we can yarn over it to hide it. And we're also going to be doing a single double crochet in each stitch except the last one up here where we already have 2 double crochets. Now you can see from the other side that this is where the last stitch was, so that's where we'll be doing our first on this side. So wrap the yarn over the hook, insert it into the first stitch there and pull up a loop, and we're just going to go ahead and complete that double crochet as we've been doing so far. And you can also see that I'm yarning over the tail, and that will completely hide it from this end. Now continue doing that until we're at the last stitch here, where we already have 2 double crochets inside the stitch. Now in the last stitch, we already have 2 double crochets. So we're gonna do 3 more double crochets inside the last stitch, so that we'll have 5 double crochets in total, just like we have 5 double crochets on this end. Now you can see where we've completed our 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these 2 stitches would have been the 2 that we skipped in the first round. So you can just go ahead and put that to the back, pushing the first stitch forward. And in the stitch right here, this one, we're just going to go ahead and complete a slip stitch to close out the round. So to do a slip stitch, insert your hook, hook it to the working yarn and pull it through. And then we're just going to pull it through the loop that's already on our hook. And this will pretty much act as our base for this project. Now, if you'd like to see a more detailed tutorial on how you can go about creating an oval base for a bag using t-shirt yarn, then I'll go ahead and link that in the descriptions below, as well as in the card above, and you can go ahead and check that out. If you've completed the base as I've done, then just go ahead and continue watching this video to see how I complete this project. Now, once you've completed the base, we're going to go ahead and do the upper portion of the bag. To start, chain 2. Now, once you have the 2 chains, in the first stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. In the stitch right beside it, we're also going to be doing a double crochet. And we're going to be using this stitch to close out the round. So go ahead and place your marker there. Now, once you've placed the crochet marker on that stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch going all the way around. And we're just going to go ahead and complete our double crochets until we're at the end here. Now, once we're at the end here, go ahead and move these 2, which would have been the 2 chain stitches from the previous round, to the back. And we're going to do a slip stitch to close, same as we did to our base. So remove your marker and just complete the slip stitch from that stitch. Now after closing out the round, instead of chaining 2, we're going to chain 1. And then this is where it gets interesting. We're going to be completing our double crochet as a front post stitch. To do that, insert your hook into the first stitch and pull up a loop. And then we're going to insert our hook behind the double crochet that's here. So behind this double crochet is where we'll be inserting our hook. And then we're going to yarn over our hook and pull up a loop. And with the 3 loops on our hook, we're going to complete that double crochet. And that would work as our first stitch. In the second stitch, we're not going to be doing a front post stitch. We're going to be doing our double crochet as normal. So go ahead and complete a double crochet from the top there. And in this stitch here, we're going to go ahead and place our marker. That's where we'll be closing out the round. Now we've done our front post stitch here, and we skipped this stitch and instead done our double crochet at the top. So in the next stitch, we're going to be doing that front post stitch again. So go ahead and insert your hook, pull up a loop, insert your hook to the back of the stitch, hook it to the working yarn and pull up a loop, and then we're going to complete our double crochet. And in the next stitch, we're going to do the double crochet at the top. And then we're going to go ahead and complete our front post stitch in this one here. So we've skipped this stitch, and this stitch here is where we're going to be doing our front post stitch. So pull through a loop, insert it through the back, and pull through another loop, and then complete our double crochet. And we're pretty much going to be completing this going all the way around. So go ahead and keep alternating until you're at the end. So this stitch here, so go ahead and continue doing the pattern until we're at the end here, and I'll show you how to close out the round. Now I've done most of the pattern, and I'm just going to go ahead and complete it. So far I've done the front post stitch here, so in the next stitch I'm going to complete a regular double crochet. And in the next stitch, a front post stitch. And in the last stitch, we're going to go ahead and do a double crochet from the top here. Now once you've done that, we're pretty much going to close out the round as we've done before. So go ahead and remove your marker, and where the marker was, we're going to go ahead and complete a slip stitch to close. Now once you've done that, go ahead and do one chain stitch. And in the first stitch here, we're actually going to be doing a double crochet from the top. And in the stitch beside that, we're going to go ahead and complete our front post stitch. And we're going to place our marker here because this is where we're going to be closing out the round. And then we're just going to go ahead and repeat that process. So in the next stitch, complete your double crochet. And then complete your front post stitch in the stitch beside that. And we're just going to go ahead and continue that going all the way around. Now go ahead and complete that until you're at the end. Now, if you've run out of yarn, this is how you can go ahead and add yarn to your project. Take your new skein of yarn, and starting with the tail, we're gonna just go ahead and wrap that around our finger. Now, so I stopped where I just completed a front post stitch. So in the next stitch, I should be doing a regular double crochet. So insert your hook under the new skein of yarn. We're going to wrap it around our hook like this, and then to the top of the next stitch we're going to insert our hook it again to the working yarn from the new skein of yarn, and we're just going to go ahead and pull up a loop, and then we're going to complete our double crochet. Now you'll see here that we have the tail from both ends that's left. We're just going to go ahead and yarn over it to hide. So in the next stitch, we're going to be doing a front post stitch, and we're going to do that like as regular. Place both the tails in front so that you can yarn over. And in the next stitch, we're just going to go ahead and complete our double crochet as normal. So we're going to go ahead and complete our pattern as we've been doing with this new skein of yarn. So continue that, going all around until we're here. Now I've done most of the pattern, and I'm just going to go ahead and close out the round and complete the last few stitches here. I just did a front post stitch, so I'm just going to do a regular double crochet in the next stitch. And then in the last stitch, we're going to complete a front post stitch. Now remove your stitch marker, and then we're going to close out the round in the stitch where the stitch marker was with a slip stitch. And then we're just going to be repeating pretty much what we've been doing for the next few rounds. And we're going to complete the next round as we've been doing before. Now, how you start the round depends on the first stitch there. You can see that the previous round, we started the round with a regular double crochet, which means that we'll be starting this round with a front post stitch. And where there's a front post stitch, in the next round, we start the round with a regular double crochet. So the regular double crochet is here, and we're going to go ahead and start with a front post stitch. So and then the next stitch, we're going to do our regular double crochet and place our marker on the top of the stitch created here so that we'll know where to close out the round. So we started this round with a front post stitch. So in the next round here, we do a regular double crochet, and we keep alternating until the bag is as large as you would like it to be. So go ahead and complete the pattern, same pattern that we've been doing so far. So in the next stitch, we're going to do a front post stitch. And in the stitch beside that, we're going to be doing a regular double crochet. So go ahead and complete the pattern as normal until you're here, and then go ahead and close out the round with a slip stitch. Once you've done that, complete the pattern in each round until the bag is as large as you'd like it to be. And I'm going to go ahead and show you next how I do the top portion of the bag. So this is how it looks after completing 8 rounds. If you'd like to go ahead and do this in a way where this pattern is much larger, then you can do that. You can do it for as many rounds as you'd like. But for this particular bag, I did 8 rounds, and I'm going to be changing the top portion of the bag. I'm going to be changing the pattern as well as the yarn color, you know, to give it a bit more character. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to close out the round completely and then insert a completely new yarn to the project. So the first thing that you're going to do is to cut your yarn. Now, once you've cut the yarn, go ahead and pull it all the way through that last stitch loop there. And then underneath this stitch, we're going to insert our hook from the back. Now hook the yarn to it, and you're just going to pull it through and pull on it to tighten. Now, instead of using the hook to do this part, I want you to go ahead and use a crochet needle and insert the yarn inside the needle. Now once you've inserted the needle, place it through the last stitch, through the top there, as well as through this bump right here. And you're going to just pull it through. And then tighten to your liking. Now once you've done that, inside the bag, go ahead and use your needle, and you're just going to pull the working yarn through the stitches here at the back, and we're going to do this to hold it in place as well as to hide it. Now once you've inserted it, you can just go ahead and cut it. Now take the new ball of yarn, and you can actually go ahead and insert it anywhere, right? So I'm gonna start here, and we're gonna wrap it over our finger, insert our hook in the stitch where we'd like to start, hook it to the working yarn and pull up a loop, and then hook it again to the working yarn and pull it through that loop, right? And that's pretty much gonna be our single crochets, and I'm going to be doing single crochets going all the way around. Now remember to keep your yarn forward so that you can yarn over it, and in the next stitch go ahead and insert your hook, hook it to the working yarn and pull up a loop, hook it again to the working yarn, and then you're just going to pull it through both loops there. And that's how you do a single crochet. So we're going to continue doing that, going all around while yarning over the tail. Now continue doing that, going all around, and I'll see you when we're here. Now once you've completed your single crochets, in the last stitch here to close out the round, we're going to be doing a slip stitch as we've been doing in the previous rounds. Now once you've done your slip stitch, go ahead and chain one, and then in your stitch here we're gonna insert our hook, pull up a loop, and complete a single crochet. And in the stitch beside it, we're going to do the same. Pull up a loop and complete the single crochet. Now once you've done that, it's on this stitch that you're going to put the crochet marker to know where you're going to close out the round. Now continue doing single crochets going all the way around, and I'm actually going to be doing 3 rounds of the single crochets in this color. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this round and then add another, and I'll see you back here to show you how to go ahead and complete the handles. So I've completed 3 rows of the single crochets in this color, and I went ahead and closed out the round completely using the same technique that I did for this section. Now to top it off, I'm going to be doing slip stitches going all the way around in the pink to give it that nice finish. Now wrap it around your finger, and then you can insert your hook in any of the stitches here, hook it to the yarn, and pull through a loop. And then we're going to insert our hook into the stitch beside it. We're going to hook it to the yarn once more and pull through a loop, and then pull through the loop that's already on the hook. And that's a slip stitch, and we're just going to be doing that going all around. So go ahead and continue doing that until we're at the end here. So once you've finished your slip stitches, we're going to close out the round similarly to how we've done before. Go ahead and pull your yarn all the way through. And you can also cut it to make it a bit shorter. Insert it into your crochet needle. And once you've done so, go ahead and insert it into the last stitch. And tighten. And then insert it into the last stitch all the way through to the back. Now for the handle, we're going to take 4 pieces of the yarn, 2 in each color, and it's supposed to be about 50 inches long. Now once you have your 4 pieces, you can just go ahead and make a knot at the top to hold it in place. Now you can go ahead and tie this portion here to something to kind of hold it in place. Separate it by color and then just twist it. And we're going to twist it going all the way down. Now continue doing that, going all the way down to the end. Now once you've finished twisting it, going all the way down, just go ahead and make a knot on the end. And to attach it to our bags, I'm actually going to be using these. I'm going to leave links in the description box below on where I got them. I bought them on Amazon, so I'll leave links to the description box so that if you'd like to get them as well, you can. Now I'm just going to go ahead and tie the ends to this piece here. And then cut it. And we're going to repeat this to the other end. And then we're just going to go ahead and insert that on each side.